wrote the film on which this musical is based. Adrienne was my wife. This is our daughter, Sophie. Now, some Waitress fans may know that Sophie was original Lulu in the movie. But what they don't know is that behind the scenes, she was hysterically crying the entire time. It was pretty much a whole lot of sugar, butter, flour meltdown the entire film. And what you see on the screen is pretty much shot the nanosecond she came up for air. And, we were able to grab that. But thanks to the magic of movie making, you can't really tell. Although if you look really closely, she kind of does look like she just rolled in after an all-nighter. This year marks the 10th anniversary of Adrienne's passing. And I know she would have been absolutely over the moon if she knew that not only did her film become a critical and box office hit, but that over a decade later, it would become a smash hit musical on Broadway. I mean, that's crazy. And I know she would have absolutely adored the incredibly talented Sarah Bareilles. And the musical magic that she created in bringing this story back to life. Waitress was written in 2 weeks by Adrienne, and it took her over 2 years to get it made. She was working with a producer who, let's just say, was a little preoccupied with other projects, and Adrienne was growing frustrated, and she was not very confrontational. She didn't really want to do much about it. And I said, well, why don't you give this guy a deadline? Give him 30 days. If he doesn't find you the money, find a new producer. She said, okay. So we're out in LA, we're driving on the 10 freeway, the phone rings. It's the producer. He found the money on day 30 of a 30-day deadline. Now, I wasn't a film guy, but I'm a business guy, and something didn't smell right. So I said, you know what? He wants to meet with you tomorrow. I'm going to go. So there we were at the Viceroy Hotel in Santa Monica. Adrienne, me, original Lulu, the producer, and Michael Roy, who, by the way, is one of the producers of this musical. Michael was pretty fresh out of Harvard. He was starting his producing career. He wasn't much of a film guy either, but he knew some people who had money. And about an hour later, we walked outside, looked at Adrienne, and I said, I don't know what happened back in there, but congratulations, it looks like you're going to make a film. And that's how Waitress got made. I once said to her, do you have any idea what you have? Do you know how good it is? And she kind of sheepishly said, I think so. I think it's really good. I think if people see it, they'll love it. And maybe it could be a hit. Now, in the independent film world, seeing it means getting it to Sundance. Sadly, she didn't live long enough to see it actually get accepted, but she was right. People saw it, they loved it, and it did become a big hit. And, she performed in over 20 films, 3 of which she wrote, directed, and starred in. Of course, one of them being Waitress. When she was fresh out of college, she sent her resume and her headshot to indie pioneer Hal Hartley, who at the time was casting his first film, The Unbelievable Truth. And on that resume, for her height, she listed herself as 6'1", minus exactly 1 foot. And Hal later told me that her beauty and her intelligence and her personality and her humor literally jumped off the page. And he knew right then that he had his Audrey. And when that film screened at Sundance, Adrienne was painfully shy. She was a very introverted person, believe it or not, and she hid in her room the entire festival. And here she was, this 20-year-old kid, straight from Long Island. She's starring in a big film that's got the buzz of Sundance, and she's hiding in her room. She went out to the screening, she did the obligatory Q&As, but she said she ran back and just read books the entire week. And that really was Adrienne. I thought it would be a little fun also to give you some trivia about Waitress. You know, Adrienne was a huge Yankees fan. I'm talking like get on the subway by yourself, go to the games alone Yankees fan. And she loved the Yankees so much that she named the lead characters. I think I told this to Drew once. She named the lead characters of this story after her favorite Yankee players. Dr. Pomander is a composite of Jorge Posada, Don Mattingly, and Derek Jeter. All Jenna Hunterson is Catfish Hunter, and Thurman Munson. Hunterson. That's some crazy shit, right? Sorry, original Lulu. Adrienne also actually went on 5-minute dates. That's actually how we met. We went on a 5-minute date. She said, we're gonna meet for 5 minutes, and that's it. I hadn't heard anything like this in my entire life. And she said, if we'll meet for 5 minutes, if we don't like each other, that's it, it'll be over with. No awkwardness, it's pre-established. So I looked at her, I thought she was crazy. Albeit highly efficient, with a firm grasp on time management. All of which, as a business guy, intrigued me. But I thought the date was going to be a disaster. Truth is, the date lasted 5 hours. Sorry, Yogi. Date lasted 5 hours, and she really was the most interesting, smart, funny, adorable little creature I've ever met. And obviously, she liked me too, I guess. Adrienne's greatest legacy is standing right here. She is so much like her mom and scary. And our families feel truly blessed that we have her as a constant reminder of Adrienne. Waitress, of course, is a huge part of Adrienne's legacy. I remember at Sundance when the film debuted, it was just a couple months after she died. I was sitting directly in front of Dennis Hopper. And at the end of the movie, the credits rolled. And he turned to his companion and he said very quietly, "That was a perfect movie." And then the two of them just were silent. And he's right, it is a perfect movie. And this is a perfect musical. And that's just awesome for her legacy and everybody who comes to see it night after night and who has made it a big success. I'm also proud to tell you about the Adrienne Shelly Foundation, which we started back in 2007. To support women filmmakers, and we're also going to be doing supporting women playwrights this year as well. And that's a new thing for us. And since 2007, we've awarded 60 production grants to women all over the world through partnerships that include Sundance, Tribeca Institute, Women in Film, the American Film Institute, Columbia University, and Boston University, which is Adrienne's alma mater, and others as well. We have a terrific advisory board, people like Paul Rudd, Michelle Williams, Jeremy Sisto, Cheryl Hines, Kerry Russell from the movie, Patty Clarkson, Diablo Cody, and many other people as well. If you would like to learn more about what we do, would like to support our mission, visit AdrienneShellyFoundation.org. I invite you to do that. And I just want to thank you tonight for listening, and I hope you got to know Adrienne a little bit better.